Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Skratch. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to the Monday kickoff, everyone. We got some juicy news to cover. And of course, we're back to normality. Everyone's favorite game mode starting tomorrow, which of course is clan versus clan. As usual, we're gonna have a summoning event going on during the clan versus clan, which we're gonna cover in just a second. First, we're just gonna check what exactly changed in the clan versus clan. So Vladia mentioned that we're gonna have a special CvC because of their anniversary. Man, I wish this would be all the time the same, you know, like just in terms of rewards, I wish that this would be like that forever, you know, like don't change anything. One thing that I do want to mention, if you guys watched the video, what's next in Raid, probably you've noticed that that account that they used in there, it had a lot of mythical gear from CvC. Tons of blood shield accessories, reaction. So I'm very, very curious to know if this CvC will feature mythical artifacts. I surely hope so, because that will kind of like give people an incentive to try and get them. Now, when we are looking at the personal rewards for tier 6 and the other tiers, nothing really changed. The PR rewards are staying the same, and your clan needs to win the CvC if you guys want to get these juicy rewards. If you're not going to win the CvC, unfortunately, you're just not going to be able to collect them. When we are talking about clan rewards, what we are getting, at least in tier 6 and tier 4, 3, 4, 6, 5 and 6, we are getting gear. I think on the lower ones, you're not getting gear. 6-star speed gear, we're getting immunity gear. And we got a couple of new things added to the pool, which is a legendary chaos ore, an epic chaos ore 6-star, and we have a XP barrel. I think this goes all the way down to tier 3, and on tier 2 and 1 you're still getting the same, but instead of the barrel you're getting the bruise, you know. I wish that they would keep the chaos ores in here for every single CvC. It's a massive lack of ores at the moment. Yes, you are getting them in the clan shop if you're lucky once a month. If no, it's gonna take longer than that. And you have like what, 2-3 events per month that will give you a 6-star chaos ore. So I feel like Plarium can do an amazing move by just keeping the chaos ores in the rewards forever. Plarium, please listen to us and keep these juicy chaos ores in there, because they're so important for us and we're just not getting enough. Please keep them there. That being said, talking about the summoning events that we're gonna have this CvC, guys, massive nukes. Probably you've seen it in the thumbnail, and indeed they are some massive nukes. Let me just quickly read what Plarium is saying. So on Tuesday, March 14th, we're planning to launch a 10x event to summon no one else but Cupidus himself from Ancient and Sacred Shards. I gotta say it, Cupidus is extremely powerful if by any chance you have a Venus on your account as well. So if you manage to pull a Venus but you don't have Cupidus and you're super close to the Mercy, definitely consider in dropping some shards. Just YOLO it, you might get a Cupidus. If you're not near the Mercy, keep that in mind as well, because the chances to summon legendaries are still staying the same and super low. So I'm gonna share with you my build, and I'm gonna explain you why Cupidus is powerful. On the A1, we have an AoE attack. Damage increases by 15 if the target has any debuffs. Most probably, they're not gonna have many debuffs. A lot of times, you're gonna be able to drop a couple of cheeky debuffs with Venus if you have her on the same team, and then his damage will increase from the A1. You can run him on a stun set if you're struggling in faction wars or wave control or anything like that. Either way, he is a beast of a champion since the buff. The A2 attacks all enemies, 100% chance to land HP burn for 2 turns. Very good for the spider dungeon for progression all the way up to stage 25. And just generally to deal a bit of extra damage. For Hydra, I'm using him and Venus on Hydra hard, and my god, they are so damn powerful. The A3 places increased attack on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks an enemy. 50% chance to land HP burn on all enemies if this attack kills an enemy. Of course, and this cannot be resisted. 3-turn cooldown, 4 turn cooldown, and then we have the passive. Attacks inflict 25% more damage, always counter attacks when attacked, but only available when Venus is on the same team. Plus we have an attack aura for all battles. 100% Cupidus, very, very powerful even today. Now, I have him built on a Savage and a Cruel set. Total stats on them, we have 7.6, almost 7.7k attack. He's a +2, plus a Blessing. 127 speed, 101 crit rate, 255 crit damage, 222 accuracy. You want him as slow as possible, as much reaction as possible, just to be annoying. I gotta say it, if we're kind of like ranking the couples, we have Marichka, Taras, Siphi, Rotos, Venus, Cupidus in terms of PvP. And they are still pretty powerful in Arena, you know. They're not as powerful as 2 months ago in the current meta, but they're still pretty strong, and you're gonna encounter a lot of them in Tag Team Arena and even in the lower tiers of Arena, you know. Masteries, we have Offense and Support 3, Hand Smasher as tier 6. There's a no-brainer. We're not gonna get defense on the defense 3 on him because he counterattacks all the time if Venus is on the same team. So I'm calling these two lovebirds. I'm using them quite a bit. Now, on Wednesday the 15th, they're planning to launch a 10x event to summon no one else but Georgit the Breaker from Void Shards. And oh my god, Georgit is an absolute monster. I'm loving him. I'm so glad that I managed to pull him, honestly. And yeah, I would say he's the best nuker in the game, if the RNG is on your side. If the RNG is not on your side, Aaron is better. But all around, Georgit is so nasty. I would love another copy just to have 2 of them available, or who knows, maybe to empower this one. I have him built as well on Savage and Cruel, and I gotta admit, a lot of times I'm debating if I should move the gear from my Baron on Georgit, but then I'm like, yeah, he's not empowered, he's not awakened like my Baron, so I'm gonna stick with him for the moment. When I'm gonna get him a bit more powerful in terms of empowering and awakening, then most probably I'm gonna swap the gear from Baron. Skills with A1, attacks one enemy 2 times, 30% chance of repeating the attack. And one thing that I've just learned recently, Saf actually told me this skill is the second skill in the game after Fushan that has a chance to constantly use this attack to repeat it. You know, Fushan sometimes uses the A1 like 7 or 8 times, bang, bang, bang. While Georgit can do the exact same thing. I had no idea about that, and I was like, okay, that explains how sometimes he just completely obliterates my Duchess with the A1, because I wasn't paying attention enough, you know. On the A2, attacks all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown, decreases the turn meter of all targets by 30%. This effect cannot be resisted, and you cannot get shipped by it either, so no bah in your party when you're using Georgit with this skill. Places an unkillable buff on this champion for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy. And moving over to the A3, again on a 3-turn cooldown, Deadly Ballet attacks 1 enemy. Will ignore Strengthen, Stone Skin, Unkillable, block damage, increased defense, ally protection, shields, and everything else that my mama knows about it. Then grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. This skill is so damn powerful, guys. If the 50% chance proc. If it doesn't, it's gonna be a bit different, but it's still a very powerful skill, and if the passive procs, no one will survive that hit. Has a 50% chance for this champion to ignore 50% of the target's defense for each hit placed by this champion's skills. As a blessing, I have Soul Rip on him. I can't really justify using any other blessing on this champion. How I mentioned, a monster, would love to get a few copies of Georgit to make this bad boy a +4, but hey, by 2030, I'm gonna have it narrowed down, so just stay tuned for it. Total stats on my Georgit, guys. 30k HP, 7.9k attack, 2.2k defense, 143 speed, 101 crit rate, 287 crit damage. Now, if you guys are playing in the lower tiers of Arena, you might want to get a bit of more speed on your nukers than I have in on mine, and I'm showcasing in videos. This is mainly like for Platinum, High Gold 5, for the lower tiers where people don't run Stone Skin, don't run Reaction. It's gonna be easier to have a bit of more speed and just kind of like instantly bang them down, you know. Masteries, offense, defense 3, Helm Smasher as tier 6. We got the counter attack. And yes, guys, this is pretty much everything for this video. Let me know if you are tempted by any of these champions. Personally, I'm extremely tempted by both of them, but I've got 0 shards, so I'm not gonna pull for any of them. And either way, I'm super far off from the Mercy. You haven't seen that on video, guys, but I was like 50 voids on in the Mercy during the 2x, and I just decided to YOLO a couple of shards. So I opened like 30-40 shards, and I got the best champion in the game. You guys have no idea. Look at that, Supreme Atel. I feel like that's karma, just because I was talking so bad about her. She's like, you know what, Skratch, let me give you a slap in the face so you can shut up. But that was all for this video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching. I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.